Hello, this is Tola from Trifle Productions with a follow-up quick tip, and it's basically the follow-up for the Geo Swarm add-on. I was wanting to do a part 2 because if I did the part 1 with all the important information I wanted to put into it, it would make the first Geo Swarm add-on tutorial a little bit longer than necessary, so this is the second part of it. Just wanted to showcase a few more things from it that are pretty important. I'm in Blender 4.1 still myself for this tutorial. And let's go to the add-on itself. Scroll down to it. Here it is right here. Let me delete this cube here. Shift A on the keyboard, mesh, plane, S to scale it up. And it's always good to apply that scale. So press Control A on your keyboard and apply from the pop-up menu, click on scale to apply that scale. And what I wanted to showcase from the presets are these two elements here. These are the default crawl spawner. These two, it's for crawling, this is for flying. And I wanted to show you how I can use these two with the individual insects. So if we click on the first one and add swarm, it'll give us our bounding box here. Let me left click on that, click on my move gizmo and pull this up. And we're going to go to the individual creatures, click on that. And let's click on a different creature. Let's click on the ladybug here. Let's pull this back down because this bounding box, it doesn't necessarily have to connect to the plane, but it's still a good idea for it to connect. And as I stated in the previous tutorial, this add-on works on collections and works with collections. So I'm going to click on Scene Collection, left click, right click, New Collection. Double click and call this land. Enter. Click on my plane there. I'm going to rename the plane. That's just a good habit to have just in general. Double click on plane and call this land also. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Enter. And I'm going to hover, hover over my window here. Press M on my keyboard with my plane highlighted and click on land to move this model of the land to that land collection that we just made here. And now I'm going to click on this ladybug here, add creature. And it adds our ladybug to our scene here. If we click on the ladybug, we can drag her out of the scene because this is what the bounding box is going to use to populate the scene with the ladybugs. Now we're going to click back on our bounding box there and click on swarm settings. And then when it comes to the creature collection, left click in there and click on ladybug mesh. And then it populates the ladybug there. And we want it to be on the land, so we click on surface collection, left click in that field there and click on land. And now that's our ladybug, that's where she goes. We press play, she moves around, or they move around. Now if they're too close together, with the bounding box selected, you can increase the size of the domain. So left click in there, let's type into enter. We can increase that. It should, there we go. Then we press play, they're all spread out. Press play, now they're spread out a little bit more. And another thing I wanted to showcase with this is that if you want to move your collection anywhere in your scene, just move the domain. So with the domain selected, move it on the x-axis or on the on the y-axis. It's kind of lagging here a little bit. I don't know why, but it's lagging slightly. Or on the z-axis, but mainly you want to move it on the x and y-axis to move it across your plane. And that's how you can create a swarm just using the individual insects. You can do that with any of the insects from the individual creatures option here. And the same thing with the swarm of flying creatures. But let's create a new scene so we can avoid any kind of issues in terms of anything happening inside of Blender. So File, New, General, don't save. And with our cube selected, let's press delete to delete the cube. Go back to our add-on, scroll down, Geo Swarm, Swarm presets, left click on that and click on default flying spawn and add swarm. And we have that there. We have our bounding box, our bounding sphere, so to speak. Once again, go down to the individual creatures and let's click on a swarming creature. Let's click on honeybees. Left click on that. And it creates a collection of honeybees for us. Not yet, so we haven't added it to our scene. So just click on add creature, like we did with the ladybugs. It gives us these honeybees here. Let's click on each one. Left click on that one. Left click on that. Click on our move gizmo to pull these out of the scene. Because once again, it's going to use these ladybugs here, or these, sorry about that, these honeybees, to populate the bees inside of the bounding sphere here. So left click on our sphere there, go to swarm settings, and the same thing as like we did with the ladybugs, click on this option here, and then click on honeybee flying mesh, and we have our honeybees there. Once again, we can increase the size of the bounding box, maybe up to 10, enter, make it bigger. We press play, those are our honeybees. So yeah, that's how you can utilize the presets for the default crawl spawner or the default swim spawner or flying spawn. So this does it for the swimming creatures, the fish, eels, worms, whatever individual creatures are available, and also for the flying creatures. So yeah, that's a follow-up quick tip on how to use those aspects of the Geo Swarm add-on. I wanted to showcase those two basically. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful for those of you who have watched. Once again, just download the add-on yourselves and try it out, because it's a really good add-on. It really does a lot of great things. It saves a lot of time in terms of populating your scenes with all these creatures, so that you don't have to do it by yourselves. Once again, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, adios.